Hello everybody, welcome to the special TV presentation. Today we're Thursday, February 20, 2014. We have a special guest today, the Executive Vice President of Petrolia, Mr. Alexandre Gagnon. If we take a look at the company right now, technically speaking, Petrolia is in a nice upward trend though, but the new buying signal on that stock will be at 93 cents. So we're not too far away. Right now we're at 90 cents on Petrolia. So with that said, let's introduce Mr. Gagnon. Mr. Gagnon, thank you for coming by.
Thank you for the invitation.
Excellent. So let's start with the major announcement that was made last week with the $115 million investment that the Quebec government has initiated on the Anticosti Island. Can you talk to us more about how Petrolia could benefit from that?
Yes. In fact, it was a very good, clear signal from the government.
Okay.
A big press conference with the Premier, Pauline Marois, and all the three companies present on the Anticosti Island, Junex, Petrolia, and Corridor. So the deal for us, for Petrolia, it's an investment of $100 million in works on the island from the government of Quebec through Resources Quebec and Modemprom.
Okay.
The transaction is in 3 steps. The first one, Petrolia and Corridor will invest all their permits in the new limited partnership with all technical data that we have on the island. Secondly, the government, through Resources Quebec again, and Modemprom will inject $100 million in works, a commitment to do $100 million in works on the island. So pre-money transaction, the value for our permits, Petrolia and Corridor, is $100 million because it will take 50% from their commitment.
Okay.
So with that, the post-transaction money, the post-money transaction for this deal is $200 million for the island. So it's a great valuation for our project. The third step, Petrolia will pay an amount to Corridor, and the government also will pay an amount to Corridor in order to have the following percentage in the partnership.
Okay.
Modemprom will have 21.7% of the partnership. Same thing for Petrolia and Corridor, and the government, Resources Quebec, will have 35% of this new partnership.
So if I understand right, you will only give the permit. Will you be involved in the exploration campaign in terms of your expertise that you have on the island, because you've been there for a while? So how is it going to work with Modemprom and you guys?
We can address this part of the deal. In this new venture, Petrolia will be the operator on the island. Okay. So we'll be in the driver's seat. And Modemprom will be with us as a technical assistant operator on the island. So it's a new car with 4 partners in the same vehicle, and we are the driver of this new vehicle as the operator of the island. And another thing is important to understand in this transaction is even if the government have 35% of the new limited partnership, the governance of this new structure, it's a board of 5 members. Okay. Each partner have a seat on the board. Petrolia has a seat, Corridor, Modemprom, and the government of Quebec. And the 5th member is an independent member from the unanimity of all other partners in this partnership. So we'll have the opportunity to have the government with us in this new venture, but with a governance from the public type company. So.
Okay. In terms of the moratorium on oil exploration, has been lifted with this investment of the government, or?
We don't have oil moratorium in Quebec.
Okay. Okay.
So what we have right now is a proposition. It's a new bill that the government is actually conducting audition in the Assemblée nationale. It's the bill 37, and it's a moratorium for shale gas, and only in the St. Lawrence lowlands. Okay. So no moratorium for oil or for gas outside the St. Lawrence lowlands.
Okay. So you guys are not impacted by that at all?
No, we are not impacted. We are not impacted in the past. Now we are not impacted too. So it's just for shale gas projects.
Okay. Now update us on the update on the Anticosti Island, because in your last interview you mentioned 3 parts of your business plan. First of all, there's the Alderman project, which is an important part, the Book project, and also you wanted to add value to the Anticosti Island project. So update us on what's going on there on the Anticosti Island.
Okay. The biggest project for Petrolia is the Anticosti Island, and now we have a clear signal from the government that they are open for business. We'll do some exploration on the island, and we'll start this summer. So this summer, the first step of the new program is between 15 and 80 stratigraphic cores that we'll take during the summer in order to localize the best area for the next 3 wells with fracturation. So, and we'll conduct these 3 wells in the summer of 2015. So this is for Anticosti Island. It's the first step. It's a 2 years program, and we start this summer. And we have the commitment from Modemprom and the government of Quebec. For Alderman, the drilling is still pending. We obtained a favorable judgment from the Superior Court last week too, saying that the municipality does not have the right to adopt a regulation to ban drilling on their territory, territories. So we expect the hydrogeological study at the end of March in order to resume drilling on Aldeman number 4.
Okay.
So it will be the third well that will drill on this property. The objective of this third well is to obtain the extraction rate from this resource in Aldeman. So we expect to start drilling mid-May.
Okay.
For the Book project, we drilled 2 wells back in 2012, and we discovered 1 TCF of resources initially in place. The next step for the Book project is, one, find a partner or raise some money on the market in order to conduct more works. And these works are to be determined.
Okay.
But we have a discovery there. We know that we have 1 TCF of gas, but we have to value the project and decide what we'll do with this big play.
Okay. Now with Anticosti Island, with the Aldeman project, where you had a favorable judgment by the court, what's your attention is going to be focused on? Are you going to still work on both, or are you going to focus mostly all your attention on the Anticosti Island, which could represent a cash cow for you guys with this big investment that the government is?
Yeah. The first thing to understand is with the $100 million commitment from Montreal Prom and the government of Quebec, we have no money to put in work.
Spending nothing?
Nothing.
Okay.
They will spend the first $100 million.
Okay.
And the first step of this program, the stratigraphic cores and the 3 wells with frac, will cost between $55 and $60 million. So even after this first program, we have enough money to continue before putting money at work.
Okay.
So for Anticosti, we are okay. And because we are the operator, we'll be able to lower our operational costs at Pétrolia, because between the joint operating agreement, we'll receive some money on a no cost, no profit, no cost, no loss basis, but it will be good for us because we lower our operational cost at Pétrolia. So we'll concentrate our effort through the Anticosti project with our technical team and Moran & Prom, because Moran & Prom will send us some expertise too in this project. But also we want to do the Aldeman number 4 well, because it's important for us in order to generate cash flow in the near future. So it's really the near-term project for our society. It's Aldeman.
Okay.
Because with this project, we can generate cash flow in the short term.
Excellent. Now, what about your so the money that you have for the Aldeman project? Do you have all the how much money do you have in your coffers now, and to drill the Aldeman project?
On the Aldeman project, we have a partner, the Bouygues family, and they own 50% of the project. So it's 50% the Bouygues family through a society called SCDM Energy, Quebec Energy, and 50% Petrolia. They will put at work the first $3 million, and after that we spend 50-50 the remaining part of the Aldeman number 4 well. And the expected cost for us, it's around $2.5 million. And we have this amount actually at Petrolia.
Okay.
So we have a partner, we have the money, the rig is there, so as soon as we have the hydrogeological study, we'll be able to resume drilling.
Excellent. In terms of the amount of cash flow that you will need to generate to be cash flow neutral on Aldeman, how much do you evaluate that to be approximately?
With Aldeman number 4, we'll obtain the extraction rate and be able to ask a production lease.
So you already have the extraction rate? And
we don't have it.
You don't have
we
it
need
yet?
to drill Aldeman number 4 to have the extraction rate. And with that, we'll be able to ask for a production lease. With the production lease, we'll start the work on the property in order to generate cash flow. Actually, we expect that the cost of this project will be around $50 million. So 50-50, 25 for us, 25 for our partner. But with reserve, what we can do is obtain debt. So and maybe 40% of debt of this project can be financing through this way. So the amount that we'll have to put in place is between 12 and $15 million. But we are not there yet. If we can prove that it's economically viable to do this project, I expect that the stock price will rise a little bit, and we'll be able to limit the dilution for our shareholders.
Now, talking of the Anticosti Island, in the last interview you mentioned that it has the same geological structure as the Utica Trend in Ohio. Are you still following the development there in Utica? And so far, from what you have seen in Utica, can you say that it could have been applied to Anticosti Island in terms of the extraction rate?
We believe that we can apply what they have in the Utica play with what we have in the Anticosti Island, the Macasti source rock. So, and what we know right now is that it's productive in the Utica. They drill for gas and oil, and between that we have the condensate zone, propane, ethane, butane, and stuff like that. and they are able to lower the cost of the drilling and the frac, and the midstream is there, the pipeline and all the stock in order to deliver the products. So we continue to follow the Utica play. It's important for us because it gives us the roadmap for the next step for this big project on the Anticosti Island.
Okay. In terms of the acceptability of this project here, because you're in Quebec, Quebec doesn't have a long oil discovery or history, I should say. How does the population receive your project now? Are they like more friendly with your project, or is there still some?
I think that to respond to your question, two aspects. Yesterday we received a survey from CROP saying that 71% of the Quebecers are okay with oil exploitation in Quebec. I think this is a very strong signal from the population. Secondly, specifically for the Anticosti Island, I think that the population there is okay with the oil exploration and eventually the exploitation, but we need to do that openly, with transparency, and with them. So, and the objective to have the government is the new venture is to have a better social license. So the government is there for the social license, make sure that everything is done correctly.
Okay. So you are actually in, how much cash do you have in your coffers?
6 million right now.
6 million right
Enough to cover the cost of Aldeman number 4 and to run the business for the next months.
Thanks. So what's for 2014? What is Petrolia actually working on in 2014?
First step is to resume drilling on Aldeman number 4, mid-May. Close the deal with the government and Molenprom, and we expect to do that at the end of March.
Okay.
So this is the first step, the closure of the deal. After that, resume drilling on Aldeman number 4 with the hydrological study, and start the mobilization and the works on the Anticosti Island by doing the 15th stratigraphic course this summer. At the end of this year, we'll obtain answers from this campaign and be able to have the answer to different questions. Which fluid do we have to use on the Anticosti Island, where to localize, to put the next 3 wells. So this is really the objective right now. Close the deal, drill Aldeman number 4, and start the stratigraphic campaign on the Anticosti Island.
Excellent. For viewers looking at your company, Mr. Gagnon, right now, because the deal involves other companies such as Corridor Resources. So viewers looking at this interview is like, why should I invest in Petrolia compared to another company like Corridor Resources? What would you tell them to convince them that Petrolia should be his next investment?
By investing in Petrolia, you have a Quebec oil play. With Corridor, what you have, it's a Quebec play through the Anticosti project, but also shale gas project in New Brunswick. This is a good project too, and a play on eventually Old Harry, but this is offshore, so it's a little bit more complex. But Corridor is a very good company. We are partnered with them since 2008-9, so we have a very good relationship with them. But what is different is Petrolia is the operator of this new venture on the Anticosti Island. And we have the biggest permits in the Gaspé area with different projects like Aldeman with 7.7 million barrels contingent resources, and the Book project with 1 TCF initially in place. So I think that with Petrolia, you have directly a Quebec oil play, and with others company, it's a different mix of projects.
So Mr. Gagnon, thanks a lot for coming by, for giving us all those answers to those questions, and we look forward to hear back from you.
Thank you for the invitation again.
Thank you.
Like this.
All right.